Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike Mulvey, and I'm Chief Executive of an organisation called the London Business Network. Hopefully most of you will have heard of that, but I'll tell you a bit more about it in a moment. It's my pleasure here to welcome you tonight to the BT Centre. We're very privileged to be here, and I'd like to thank John Lane from BT and all the BT staff here who are working here tonight for providing this great venue, and hopefully this will be a very interesting event for you. Tonight we are going to learn about the travel arrangements for the 2012 Olympic and Paralympic Games. We have key speakers here who are experts in their field. First of all, we've got Hugh Sumner, who is Director of Transport for the Olympic Delivery Authority. And Hugh has been involved with planning the transport arrangements from the very start, before we won the rights to stage the Games. So he has intimate knowledge about the arrangements that are being made, and he'll be able to provide you with an update on the way things have been organised to date. He'll be followed by Stuart Reid, who is responsible for travel demand management. Stuart and his team are responsible for communicating with businesses right across the UK who are involved, obviously, in some way or another, by the arrangements being made for the Games, whether it be for the torch relay, whether it be for the venues, getting people to and from the main venues and back again to their hotel accommodation. So all that information is being distilled in a way that will make it convenient for businesses to know and understand and make their own arrangements. John Lane, who's Business Development Director for BT, specifically focused on London 2012 responsibilities. John's going to be telling us how BT, who are one of the major sponsors of the Games, are planning to help businesses in ways which I'm sure you're going to find extremely interesting in terms of making arrangements about how they communicate data-wise and all things to do with the data provision for the Games. However, first of all, I'm going to give you a very short update on how things are going with business opportunities. I know most of you here are registered on Compete For. I just want to give you a quick update on how things are going. And later on, if you'd like to keep all your questions for all the speakers towards the end, we will have a question and answer session later. So, as I said before, I'm Mike Mulvey. I'm Chief Executive of the London Business Network. The London Business Network is an organisation that was set up specifically to communicate with businesses about the business opportunities and other arrangements to put a real positive focus on this fantastic opportunity that we're going to have in July 2012 to stage the Olympic and followed up by the Paralympic Games. The organisation is owned by London First, CBI London, London Chamber of Commerce, and the Federation of Small Businesses, and supported by the London Development Agency to do our work. Are there any opportunities still to come? I mean, obviously, we've been making lots of presentations right across London and elsewhere in the UK for over 3 years now, since Compete For was launched. And there is still an amazing amount of opportunities coming through. Less so with the Olympic Delivery Authority, which is obviously the organisation that's building the park. There's about 79 out of the 83 Tier 1 construction contracts already let, so there's about 4 left, and most of those are to do with major bridges and structures leading into the Games. And 85 of the 255 major service and corporate contracts have been let, but there's still more to come. There's about 414 contracts at Tier 2 stage, and they will flow down from there. There'll be Tier 3 and Tier 4 contracts available, and I'll give you the details of there, which is on the next slide, which is mainly, as you'll see, finishing trades. For the Olympic Stadium, things like fire stopping, builders clean, with the structures and bridges. There's concrete testing, landscape and public realm, there's lighting, the handball arena, there's doors and joinery opportunities, the International Broadcast Centre, soft landscaping, Athletes Village, there's cycle racks, louvers, painting and decorating, and in Broxbourne, surfacing and road marking. So still some opportunities coming in from the ODA. As far as the London Organising Committee is concerned, they've already signed contracts for about 150 million pounds. There's about 300 million pounds worth of contracts in progress, and those will flow down into lower tier contracts. So we reckon there's about 250 million pounds worth of direct opportunities still to be procured. So there's still plenty of opportunity, particularly for small, medium-sized businesses. As far as the catering contracts are concerned, there's an awful lot of businesses that come to our events that are interested in catering. That LOCOG are deciding on the Tier 1 contracts by the end of this month, and they'll make formal announcements of the around about 6 Tier 1 contractors they're going to have who are master caterers and responsible for different sections of the catering. And those organisations are required to hold Meet the Buyer events in spring of next year, so that the lower tier contractors can work for them to look at specialist catering opportunities, particularly in different nationalities' foods, which we do so well in London. Other opportunities coming out from LOCOG on the artist performance side, you've got gifts and promotional merchandise and costumes and props up until middle of next year. On the sports side, you've got all sorts of sports equipment, alcohol testing units, you've got handball equipment, goalball equipment, sewing services, all sorts of opportunities there for businesses. On the sports medical side, optometry, you've got Weymouth and football venue services, and on the services side you've got workforce training and delivery and materials for training. In logistics, driver scheduling and rostering, driver license checks, vehicle livery and graphics, and most of the contracts that have been let to bus and coach operators right across the UK will be announced shortly. On the venues and infrastructure side, that the LOCOG have some responsibility there. There'll be some requirement for scaffolding, site works and temporary event fit out. So still lots of opportunities, and many more will come leading up to the game. So don't lose heart about not having won anything yet. There's still more opportunities coming. Also, I do assure you that there are opportunities existing out there which you can find for yourselves. They're not all going to find their way on Compete For, and there's lots of opportunities, for instance, for training camps, both for the Olympic and the Paralympic Games. There's 644 training camps identified, and if you want to find out about those, they're identified on the London 2012 website, which is www.london2012.com. There's all sorts of opportunities around hotel accommodation, taxi services, couriers. If you're in those sort of businesses, you want to think about what do those venues need, make contact with the venues and offer your services. That's the way you can develop your business. In terms of the retailing, there's merchandising opportunities through LOCOG and licensees already exist. With Adidas, Time Out, Hornby, and you can contact those organisations and find out how you can retail their products. So these are lots more opportunities, but you need to do the legwork on it. So how is Compete For going so far? Well, we're just under 132,000 businesses registered on the system as I speak. 38,000 of those are based in London. Over 7,500 opportunities have been posted to date, with nearly 47,000 businesses have had the opportunity to put forward a shortlisted presentation or perhaps meet the buyers. So there's many businesses that for the first time ever have had the opportunity to sit in front of some public sector or private sector large buyers and actually talk to them about their goods and services. So they may not win a contract through the Olympic Games, but they've learned some skills and developed themselves so that they can do it again. And that's a key part of what a Compete For is all about. There's been just under 5,000 contracts awarded to date, and now we've got over 1,000 buying organisations using the service. So it's not just the Olympic authorities, obviously it's their supply chain. Does it really go down the supply chain? Well, on that slide there, you'll see that if it wasn't for Compete 4, you'd have just had opportunities on 564 contracts. That would have been it. That's all you would have seen. You wouldn't have seen any of the other opportunities at all. And that's what people forget. Compete 4 is all about exploding the supply chain, making it visible so small businesses can really get a piece of the action. And as you can see, there are opportunities down there at tier 3 level. You've got 2,899. Tier 4, 728 have already been on there, right down to tier 5, 30 opportunities. And those are opportunities for around about £2,000 to £5,000. Very well suited to small and micro businesses. Are they really winning contracts, small businesses? Well, 13.5% of the businesses who are winning contracts up to date have 10 or less staff. Nearly 40% of those have got 50 or less staff, and 67% of the businesses winning contracts are small and medium enterprises. So yes, small businesses are genuinely winning contracts. The key thing about winning a contract on Compete 4 or bidding on Compete 4 is you must publish your business profile. Now, many businesses I say, when I meet them, I say, are you registered on Compete 4? Yes, I'm registered on Compete 4. Well, let me tell you that only 49% of the people registered on Compete 4, this is a statistic that exists right across the UK. Not only in London, it's actually duplicated right across the UK. So 51% of the people on the system, actually, nobody knows they're on there other than me, and I'm not going to give you a contract. So you must publish your business profile. That means completing all the data that's on there, which is all confidential. It's kept to yourself. You don't worry about it going to a buyer that you haven't given it to. You are in charge of your own data, and you put it into your bid when you bid for a contract. So I really don't understand why people don't complete their business profile, because if they don't complete their business profile, they don't get an automatic email alert about what the opportunities are all about, and nobody knows they're on there. What a profile should look like is exactly what it looks like there. It tells you the core capability of the business, and you've got 3 pictures demonstrating what your business is all about. If your profile looks like that, you've got a very good chance of winning a contract. Just remember, there's probably many thousands of buyers that use this system just as a database, because you can search for it by town, by postcode, by type of business, and so they don't need to use Yellow Pages anymore. They can just go to Compete 4, but they won't be able to find you if you haven't published your profile. So if there's one message to take away from Compete 4 tonight, publish your profile. And there are many more opportunities other than the Olympic Games. Now we've got the Greater London Authority, Transport for London, Crossrail using it. That's a larger investment than the Olympic Games, Crossrail, and it goes right through till 2018. Lots of opportunity for you there. Host borough units, Metropolitan Police, the London boroughs of Haringey and the London Borough of Westminster using the system, as well as Visit London. So lots of opportunities. These are the kind of opportunities that have been awarded to small businesses: provision of flower services, courier services, mains-fed water coolers, concession stands, a drama company who taught health and safety to schools, a construction crew program, catering, all sorts of opportunities there. And the current ones on the system, you've got things like staff uniforms, you've got ceramic floor tiling, you've got stationery supplies, architectural services, night vision viewing equipment for the Metropolitan Police. You've got pollution monitoring devices, cleaning and facilities management, a clay drainage pipe for the company that's providing same to Crossrail. So lots of opportunities. So don't forget, you've got to be in it to win it. Please register on Compete 4. There's lots of help available, but I know what you're here for tonight, and that's to hear from our travel experts. And I shall quickly move on by introducing you to Hugh Sumner. As I said, Hugh is certainly the leading expert on London 2012 transport, and please take advantage of him being here tonight. Thank you.